Picture this. You're walking through a market in 1637, and you see a single flower selling for more than a house. Seriously, a sailor, thinking it's an onion, takes a bite, and unknowingly eats $50,000 worth of rare tulip. Sounds crazy, right? But this actually happened. In the Netherlands, in one of the richest, most advanced economies in the world. Welcome to Markets Through Time. Today, we're diving into the Tulip Mania, history's wildest bubble, and the one we're living through again, right now. So, how did we get here? It all started with a flower. Not just any flower, but a tulip with wild, flame-like streaks. Turns out, it was infected with a virus. But back then, they thought it was magic. These broken tulips were rare, unpredictable, and incredibly desirable. At first, only the super rich collected them, merchants, nobles, even artists like Rembrandt. But then, someone had a brilliant and dangerous idea. Why wait a whole year for the bulb to bloom? Let's just trade the promise of a bulb next spring. And just like that, the world's first futures market was born. Suddenly, you didn't need to own the flower. You just needed a piece of paper saying you would own it someday. And that changed everything. By 1636, tulip fever had gone absolutely wild. We're talking about blacksmiths, bakers, even servants, people who'd never seen real wealth, mortgaging their homes just to buy a single bulb. And the prices? Mind-blowing. One Semper Augustus bulb cost as much as a luxury canal house in Amsterdam. Another could buy you 4 tons of wheat, 8 pigs, and a fine bed. Some bulbs sold for more than 10 years of a skilled worker's salary. But here's the craziest part. Most buyers never saw the actual flower. They were trading contracts for bulbs still buried in the ground, sight unseen, based purely on hype. Sound familiar? Because this is the exact same energy behind NFTs, meme stocks, and cryptomanias. The asset changes, but the story? It's always the same. Then, February 3rd, 1637, a routine tulip auction in the town of Haarlem. One buyer doesn't show up. That's it. That's all it took. Panic spread faster than the plague. If he won't pay, who will? Within 48 hours, the market froze. Bulbs that sold for a fortune yesterday, now worth less than a loaf of bread. People lost everything. Families were ruined. And the government? They basically said, sorry, these contracts? They're just gambling slips. Not enforceable just like that. The bubble didn't just pop. It vanished. For years, people called the Tulip Mania a myth, a silly story blown out of proportion. But modern historians agree. It was real. And it's a perfect mirror for today. Because this wasn't really about tulips. It was about FOMO, scarcity. And the belief that this time is different. We've seen it again and again. The dot-com bubble. Companies with no profits, valued like empires. Crypto kitties selling for $100,000. NFTs going for millions. For a digital picture. The lesson isn't that bubbles destroy economies. It's that they destroy the unprepared. Here's something most videos skip. The Dutch economy didn't collapse. Why? Because real wealth, ships, spices, trade, was still humming along. The crash hit speculators hard, but the country, it kept sailing. So the real warning isn't bubbles are dangerous. It's this. If you're buying something just because the price is going up, you're not investing. You're gambling. And in gambling, the house always wins. Eventually. If this made you rethink what's valuable today, hit like. It really helps the channel grow. Subscribe and tap the bell, because next week we're covering the Mississippi Scheme, How one man fooled all of France. And drop a comment below. What's today's tulip? Crypto? AI stocks? Something else? Let's talk. Because in markets, the past doesn't repeat. But it sure does rhyme. See you next time on Markets Through Time.